Hey, what's up? It's Wick for WickieMedia Tutorials, and today I'm going to show you this really cool transmission loss effect, which you can use for post-production and maybe for a cool effect in your music. I'll show you what it sounds like first, and then I'll show you the original input, and then we're going to replicate this effect, which is not so hard. So that's what the effect sounds like. I'll bypass all the effects right now so you can hear what the original sounds like, and that's I'm going to play that now. Greetings, Earthlings. I came to warn you about an alien attack this summer. Don't take that too serious. It's just for tutorial purposes only. I'm going to clean up my whole project first, remove all the plugins and all the inserts, and after that I'm going to come back to you and we're going to replicate this effect. So I've neutralized the project, I've removed all the plugins, and what I've done first is I've routed both of these tracks. I've got two audio tracks right here, which I called one voice and the other one I called noise, which I'm going to insert a noise generator later. I routed both of these tracks to a group track. You can see that right here on my I/O section. This output is routed to both, which is this group track right here in the bottom, and I've got this noise track, and also I take the output from there and route that to this group track right here. So anything that I insert onto this group track will affect both of these channels laying above it. So that's what I've done first. And first I'm going to go to my inserts on the voice track. So I've got this voice track selected. I'm going to go to my inserts and I'm going to insert a distortion plugin. I'm just going to use the standard distortion plugin which comes with Cubase, and I'm going to add a little bit of that boost to it. Probably around 1, not too much. You can already hear this has quite an effect on it. Greetings, Earthlings. I came to warn you about an alien attack this summer. Earth is not longer safe. So Earth is not longer safe. Let me know if you got this message. You heard it when I bypassed it. This already has a lot of influence on the effect. A lot of distortion plugins actually have a tone dial. I have this pretty high because if I'm going to lower this, it's going to sound pretty dull, and I really want this to sound like a authentic telephone or something like that in that range. So if I have that really low, it sounds too dull for that. I can show you what it sounds like. Greetings, Earthlings. I came to warn you about an alien attack this summer. Earth is... You can really hear the sound start to open when I increase that tone because it's boosting the higher frequencies at that moment. So that's what I'm looking for. And that's basically all I do with the distortion, just to give it a little bit of a distorted edge. And the next of the processing is going to take place on this group track. So I'm going to go to the group track where the voice is routed to, and I'm going to go to my inserts on this group track, and I'm going to look for the dynamics, and I'm going to look for a gate. I'm going to use the C1 gate. I'm going to use a mono version of it. I've got 2 mono tracks lined up in this project, and I've got a mono group track right here as well. If your material is in stereo, you obviously want to use a stereo gate for that. So this is a really visual type of plugin. This is my threshold value. You can see it's my gate open value as well. So I can either do it from here or just move these points. And this is also my input meter, so I can see where my signal is going to peak at. So I can see if it is above or below this threshold point, which is really helpful. So if I have the threshold all the way on the top, my signal will constantly be below the threshold, so it will be constantly muted. I can show you that. So now if I lower it, longer safe. So Earth is not longer safe. Let me know if you got this message, okay? So this is already like the beginning of the effect. You can hear it starts to stutter a little bit, but it's not perfect. It's not what I'm looking for because the attack and the release setting are too long. So I've installed literally over 10 different gate and expanders over the last few days to really try out which one does the effect the best. And the C1 gate from Waves is actually the only one which has this really fast attack, release, and hold setting. If you want to download a free trial, you go to www.waves.com where you can download a free trial or purchase the full plugin and check out their other software as well. They got some good products. So I'm going to increase and make this attack really short, and I'm going to make this release really short as well. Make sure that the hold time is really short as well. And now I'm going to play with this threshold over time, and you can really hear the effect already. I warn you about alien. Earth is not longer safe. not longer. So what I want to do now is I want to automate this parameter so that it means that it will be written in time, so that whenever I play the track, it's going to replicate the movement that I did in the first place. So I'm going to start somewhere here. I'm going to put this in write. That's how that works in Cubase. I'm assuming that you know how to automate your tracks. If you don't, you can always write me a comment or a message here on YouTube, and I will try to help you out with your software. So click on write, and this write enables this track. I'm going to play it, and that means it's going to write down the movements of the parameters that I make in time. So listen to that. Greetings, Earthlings. I came to warn you about an attack this summer. Earth is not longer safe. Is not longer safe. Let me know if you got this message, okay? So something like that. You can see it's already in read mode. I can now disable the write mode, and it will just read the automation now. Greetings, Earthlings. I came to warn you about alien attack. I'm just giving you an example right here. If you're doing this for post-production, you probably want to time it probably with your video. In that case, you want to see your automation lane. I can see that right here on the group track. I can see this this has automation on it, and this is the C1 gate mono gate open parameter, so that would make sense to change. You can see this is the movement that I made over time. So this is my automation lane. I can change that if I want to make little changes. I can add new points by clicking, and a little bit of randomness is always good in these type of effects, because it is normally a pretty random type of effect when you're talking about transmission loss. So, greetings, Earthlings. I came to warn you about alien. So that's pretty decent. I guess I'll go for that, and the more you want to tweak it, you can go ahead. I want to continue with this tutorial, so I'll keep it like that. So the next step in this processing would be to make it sound more like a telephone, and I'm going to use an EQ for that. So I'm going to go to the second slot of my inserts, and I'm going to browse for an equalizer. I'm just going to use the Studio EQ, which is a default plugin from Cubase. Doesn't really matter. And I'm going to remove all the low frequencies first. So I'm going to change this to be a cut, and I'm going to have this start at a lot higher, so around 1.2K. Greetings, Earthling. I came to warn you about alien. I'll just bypass the gate for now. Greetings, Earthlings. Greetings, Earthlings. So you can hear I'm just removing the low end of it, and I'm going to do the same with the high end. So I'm going to change that to a cut as well, and make that a really small band. So this is really simulating what a telephone does, because the telephone really has a limited bandwidth that we're talking over. Really, well, mainly on this speech area right here. I can change this Q, and that's going to add a little bit of a boost in this case of this this EQ that I'm using here in Cubase. So this already gives a little bit of that edge. Greetings, Earthlings. I came to warn you about an alien attack. This starts to sound a little bit like I want it to. Probably make that a little bit more in this region here. Somewhere like that. So I'm going to add this boost. Greetings, Earthlings. I came to warn you about an alien attack this summer. Earth is not longer safe. So this sounds pretty much like a telephone if I bypass it. Greetings, Earthlings. I came to warn you about an alien attack this summer. Earth is not longer safe. So I just got this really limited bandwidth with a little bit of a boost in this area between 1.5 and 3 or 4 kilohertz. I can play around with these settings. It's really depending on what type of needs or what type of telephone you're trying to simulate. So that's basically all I need to do. If I want to remove some more of the lows, well, this is already at -24 right now. So in that case, I would need to look for another EQ and put an EQ below it, and then again I can remove all the lows. So now I'm removing more of the low end. So greetings, Earthlings. I came to warn you about an alien attack this summer. Earth. So let's just settle for what it is right now, and I'm good to go. So this is already half of the effect. I'll just turn on the gate again. Greetings, Earthlings. I came to warn you about alien attack. The next thing that I've done is I've added a little bit of noise to it. So I have a separate track here, which I've called noise. I'm going to add this noise generator on it. I think it's under tools. I've got this test generator, Normally it's on a sine wave per default, so I'm going to put that on white noise. So now it's generating noise. So now if I play around with the gate setting, right here. You can hear I add a little bit of noise to it. So if I play it back now.
Greetings, Earth. I came to warn you about alien summer. Earth is not longer safe.
Probably want to play around with the automation of the level of this noise. You can see here it's constantly open, and we want to probably randomize that a little bit. So it's really depending on what you like.
Greetings, Earth. I came to warn you about alien summer. Earth is not longer safe.
So it would be nice to have a little bit of noise behind that sentence. So I'll just give it a little bit of a boost here.
Earth is not longer safe.
And then one here after it as well. Make it probably really short.
Earth is not longer safe.
Probably a little bit later. That's what I like.
It's not longer safe.
And probably a little bit of a peak right here as well. It's just about the randomness of the noise, I guess.
It's not longer safe. Not longer safe. Let me know if you got it.
And it's nice to have one more little bit of noise peak right here after it. Let's see how long that should take. That's long enough. I guess something like that. That's pretty good. Maybe a small peak after it, just for this tutorial's sake. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's what I'm looking for. So now I've got a little bit of EQing going on. I've got this gate which really makes that transmission loss effect, and the EQ is mainly to have it sound like a telephone, and the noise is to really try to sell the effect in general. So that's all I've done. I could add a little bit of a finishing touch to actually put a pretty heavy compressor on the whole thing to make it a little bit more flat. So I'll just use the standard compressor right here. Make sure that the makeup is not on auto. It needs to be quite fast, so I don't need the soft knee. I just increase the ratio. So I've got like 10 dB of gain reduction, which is quite a lot, but...
Greetings, Earth. I came to warn you about alien summer. Earth is not longer safe. Not longer safe. Let me know if you got it.
Probably want to have a little bit more of the random noise in this area right here, but that's really up to you, depending on what you're using it for. Probably if you do it for post-production, like I said, you have a video running along, so you can time with whatever you see on the screen and play around with that. But in big lines, this is the effect. So it's mainly up to the gate, which should be a really fast gate. I found the C1 gate from Waves to be the fastest that I could possibly find. If you have any other gates that you like to use, please write it down in the comment section. I always love to hear about new plugins and love to learn new stuff. So if you got anything good, let me know. If you have any other questions about this effect, you can always put a comment or write a message right here on YouTube, and I'll get back to you. And make sure to check out my new website, which I've recently launched, www.wikiemedia.net. I'm going to be posting all my new tutorials on there. I'm going to add new PDFs about the compressor setting guides. I'm going to put an EQ guide for the next season when I'm going to do EQs. So there's a lot of good stuff to be downloaded from the website over the future, and I'm really setting it up. So I would really like it if you subscribe to my channel and to my website. That would be awesome. So thank you guys. I hope you learned something, and see you on the next tutorial.